Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, and today I would like to do the monthly oracle and tarot card reading for the elemental signs that fall under water. That would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if water is in your birth charts or you are one of those signs, this reading is for you, although readings can be for a large group of people depending on their personality. So the way I do my readings is I find a guide, I go with a guide, and then we bring in a message from source, and then I pull a tarot card that has a lesson or a challenge for you for that week. And June, this month, has 5 weeks in it, and part of those weeks are overlapping into May and July, so they will be classified as bonus points, basically. I'm using the Dragon Guide Oracle, the Mystic Wisdom Oracle cards, and the Art Nouveau Tarot deck. So let's dive right into this first week for June 2022 for the water signs. And if you like what I'm doing or how I'm doing the readings, if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are enjoying this and you want to know, subscribe, hit the little notification bell if you're on YouTube, and just that way it lets me know that you guys are appreciating, or that you want what I'm doing. Let's go there. So anyway, the dragon for the first week is the Crystal Yellow Dragon. It says, open you to a higher learning and wisdom, expand your crown chakra for illumination, walk the higher spiritual path. So your crown chakra is the one that sits at the very top of your head. It's right between your ears. If you lined them up, it's that top point, and usually there's a little flat spot there. With that chakra, it's all about bringing in spiritual energy. It's opening up. It's your connection to the divine source. A lot of people will say your heart is, but your heart is actually an opening you to divine love, which is not the same thing. The divine source energy is what keeps you going. It's what motivates you. It's how you charge and work with a lot of your chi, your prana, that type of energy. It comes down through that point. You'll build a lot of it inside, but when you bring in the outside energy, it always comes through that point, as far as I've researched. But this dragon, the Crystal Yellow Dragon, is really good about helping you open up that 1,000-petal lotus that is the crown chakra, and helps you learn new ways to bring in that energy, and maybe a newer way to meditate to open it up to a fuller extent. Because my understanding is each petal of the crown chakra's 1,000 lotus is a lesson that you have learned, and so as you learn that lesson, the petal opens up even more, and so this dragon can help you really activate that and kick it into higher gear. So your message from source is the potential card. Think big for your future. So you're bringing in a lot of this new higher energy from your crown chakra, and what that's doing is it's triggering an energetic potential within you. This is that energy of manifestation. It's where you embed this potential energy with your intentions, and this is what helps things manifest in a much more rapid rate. So during this first week of June, it's very important to work with your crown on setting your intentions in a positive, healthy way, and working with this energy to help really develop the potential that you hold within you and the potential that you are. Because you hold it within, but it's also part of who you are, so it's the same type of thing. You're setting your intention basically into the very essence of who you are, and then it's get your ego and the mind out of the way so it can manifest properly. And your lesson or challenge from the tarot is the Hanged Man, which also ties right into that potential, because with the potential, the only thing that's stopping you at that point is your own doubt and fear. Because if you put the faith and the hope and the desire into something, the world will open up. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have it instantly fall in your lap, although you could. It generally shows you the next step, then the next step after that, so that you see the path ahead of you as you work through those steps. And the Hanged Man is coming in to say, if you keep looking at things at the way you're looking at it now, you're never going to find what you're hunting for, what you're searching for, what you're trying to intend. If you're not willing to stretch out of that growth period and allow yourself to feel that discomfort of looking at something from a different way, and it could be, especially with us water signs, we tend to want to look at things from an emotional perspective, and maybe the hanged man is coming in to say, maybe you need to look at it from the air perspective. Use your intellect and your cutting away of the nonsense. Maybe it's a time to trigger that fire, that passion, really fire yourself up, but look at it from that creative aspect. Or maybe it's a time to look at something from the grounding perspective with Earth, where you're looking at it and you're trying to decide, is this something that's going to benefit me as a grounding? Is this a way to help my home or my finances? But just looking at it from another perspective is going to be the challenge for this first week. So your dragon for the second week of June is the magenta dragon. Enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken your soul memories and higher spiritual understanding, and prepare for accelerated ascension. It's a lot of A's in that. And with this card, what it's saying, this magenta dragon is coming forward to help you the second week of June. And it's to bring forward soul wisdom. Now, soul wisdom is that wisdom that you, before you came into this body, you held. You already knew it. But when you came in, it's a little bit of a trick of fate, but it's also because we have lessons to learn, and that's how we expand, is through these lessons. So you forgot at birth what you knew. And what this dragon is coming forward to say is, let's find out what you forgot. Let's bring that information. If it's beneficial for this lifetime, let's bring it forward. Let's bring it in. Let's integrate it. Let's move forward. Let's see if we can skip some of these timelines. Let's clear out some of that karma, and let's move into a higher state. So this second week for your guide is a really good one if you are dealing with like inner child issues or past life issues. The second week of June, the guide that you have is really good for working with that. So the message from Source is to face your fears, release the power of fear. So with this card, which actually follows up, when you start working in that soul lesson and you're really starting to go through these inner child healings, or working on some past life stuff, or even stuff from your past in this life, it requires you to face your fear. It's not a simple thing of, oh, well, I can handle it, I can just push it back there and I can make it go away. If I ignore it long enough, I don't have to deal with it. What this card is saying is bring it forward. Bring it into the now, work through it. You have the divine already working with you. You have a dragon, which is a very powerful ally, working with this type of energy, coming forward saying, hey, let's do this. We can handle this if you want to work together with me. And the big thing is when you look at this picture, she has blinder of a veil over her eyes. And what she's doing is, I don't want to look at my fears. If I look at my fears, that makes them real. They're real anyway because you have fear involved in it. Therefore, it's manifested in that form. So if you have the magenta dragon coming in, it's saying we can face these fears. They do not have to dominate your life. You can move on from it. So the message from Source is actually one of great comfort, because facing your fears can be a very scary thing. But it's also one of the more rewarding things in your life, because it shows you that you are more than your fear. It shows you that you can overcome from those fears, and that allows that interpersonal growth that really helps awaken that powerful intention part of who we are as water signs. So your challenge or your lesson from the tarot is the Two of Wands. So this is tapping into your opposite energy, which is your the fire energy. And the Two of Wands is about the coy innocence. It's that you have the creative energy, you have that knowledge, but you're just not really sure, so you're kind of playing with that idea of, do I want to work into this? Do I really want to go that route? And you have the magenta dragon saying, hey, let's work on your spiritual knowledge. Let's bring this back in. You're facing your fears, and that's a huge thing. But don't be coy about it, is what the cards are saying. They're saying, be honest with yourself. This is what I'm doing, this is why. That whole, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or just kind of shrugging it off, that's the challenge that you need to work through the second week of June, is basically not sabotaging yourself by saying it's not a big deal or be coy about it. So let's look at the energy for the third week of June 2022. You have the green gold dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway, learn about spiritual technology, be a transmitter of sacred knowledge and awareness. So this dragon is coming forward basically as an enhancement. You have the magenta dragon that helps you understand your spiritual knowledge and wisdom. This one's coming through saying, okay, now that you're bringing that knowledge forward, let's put it into action. Let's work on that energy. Let's bring it out. So you're dealing with an energy dragon here that is really wanting you to expand. It's not a simple thing of, okay, I have the knowledge. Now it's time to put it into use, because knowledge by itself is just that. It's knowledge. It's not really that important. Everyone has some. But when you transfer it from knowledge into wisdom, it's taking a thought into an action. So this dragon is all about, let's take that knowledge that you've collected and let's put it into action. Let's make that spiritual wisdom work. And that ties into the message from Source, which is new beginnings, beginning your new life. So this third week looks like you're bringing in this energy and this knowledge from your spiritual aspect of who you are, which is really the bigger part of you, and it's time to start anew. You've done the things in the past, and you've started off this month needing to see things from a different perspective, clearing out some of the clutter. You've went through the path of finding that knowledge and facing your fears and really starting to step into that passion. And now it's time to take the actions for it. You have the green gold dragon from Sirius coming in saying, you have this wisdom, let's do this. You have the message from Source is the phoenix. It's a new beginning. It's the rising from the flames of your own destruction. And that's a very powerful statement for water signs, because they tend to go with the flow. They don't want to change. But there's times when you have to go over that waterfall so that you can be reborn. And what this message is saying is, it's time for a new you. That doesn't mean you have to totally ditch your old life, but it's time for maybe to look at things from a different perspective, start opening those doors. And if there's something you've been wanting to do but you've been holding yourself back, this third week is a very good time to step into that power and really move forward with it, because it's new beginnings. So, start something new. So your message from the tarot, which is a lesson or a challenge, is the Eight of Wands, still tying into that more controversial fire energy which counters the water. And what it's saying is, you're looking at things and you're chasing dreams, you're chasing illusions, but you're doing it on purpose because you don't want to actually put action to those thoughts. And what this card is saying is, why are you chasing the illusion? You can manifest it, you can have it. Face your fears, start anew. It's all about growth. It's all about forward momentum. When you're chasing those illusions, which can be a creative illusion or it can be a thought illusion, you're literally stopping your growth. So when you're chasing these illusions of, oh, I'm not good enough, well, who said so? Ask yourself, who told me in my life that I'm not good enough, that put up this illusion that I am some horrible person, or I made this unforgivable mistake? Well, have you talked to Source about it? God doesn't think that you're unforgivable. That person might, but that reflects a lot more on them in that respect. Now, if you've done harm, you need to make that right, obviously. But this card is saying the illusions are these thought patterns that we have developed over the years, saying, oh, it's not good enough, only so-and-so type of people can have that. Those are illusions. There's nothing written in stone, there's nothing in any spiritual text that I've read anyway that states that. And so that's the challenge for this third week, is learning to release those illusions and really fire up that creative spark within you and grow with that energy. So let's see what the fourth week of June for 2022 water signs looks like. Apparently this fourth week is going to be an interesting dragon, because It's not wanting to, oh, there we go. The decks get a little touchy sometimes, so I have to remind them what we're doing. The fourth week dragon guide is the silver dragon. Illuminates your potential with higher light, access untapped resources, look into your soul and see the possibilities. So this last little bit, it's been all about tapping into that spiritual wisdom, bringing it in, facing your fears and stepping into a new beginning, and learning how to not chase the illusions and breaking down those barriers that were really stopping you from moving forward. So now you have the silver dragon. Silver is a very feminine energy. It's also attributed to water, the signs that we're discussing. And when it says illuminate your potential, that is basically reflecting, putting up a mirror, making you see the good that you are, making you see that inner fire, that creative spark that you may have ignored, you may have put it, as it says in the Bible, you put it under a bushel to hide it because you don't want to be thought you don't want someone to think you're weird. You don't want someone to second guess you or challenge you because I might not know what I'm talking about, or I might be nervous. The silver dragon's coming forward saying, that's you saying that. That's not them. They're going to appreciate you where you are, or they're not, and then that just means that their opinion is different than yours. It doesn't decrease your value. And this dragon is all about helping you see that inner potential, helping you see that inner workings of who you are, helping you see that you truly are connected to the divine source of everything. So this fourth week, you have a very strong dragon that is very much water aligned working with you. So your message from Source for this fourth week is sensuality. Express your sensuality. Get the card to show up. And sensuality has been confused in modern times to mean sexuality, and that's not the case. Sensuality is tapping into your senses. So this fourth week, what Source is trying to say is use your inner potential. Start really embracing that inner part of you, but also remember you're a physical body. So enjoy the food, the texture, the taste, the smell, how things look around you, the touch of your clothes on your skin, a worry stone if you carry one of those in your pocket where you're always rubbing it. Just experience those senses. Really tap back into your body. We water signs tend to want to escape. It's an escapism thing with water. We want to keep moving and just not be where we're at. And what this is saying is, no, calm down, slow down. It's time to really remind yourself you're in a body. You have the silver dragon that's helping you see your potential, but you can't see your potential if you're constantly trying to find an escape. And so you're using the power of sensuality, of real physicality, to bring yourself into that now moment. So if you take a shower, just feel how each drop of water feels. Really focus on that. If you're taking a bath, just enjoy the way the water feels on your skin. And like I said, if you drink something hot in the morning, experience the taste, the texture, the temperature. Become very aware of it in this fourth week, because that is how you're going to start to tap back into the now moment where we live. So your challenge or lesson from the tarot for this fourth week is the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is an earth sign, and that is a card that ties into us. It's actually a complement card to water signs. And with Pentacles, it's all about grounding, it's all about finding that balance, and it's also about usually finances and home. So what this card is saying is, because we've been so kind of spaced out, we want to escape, there's been things going on, we just want to get away from it, keep moving, just keep going. Don't slow down, because slowing down, you have to look at your problems, or you have to look at the things in front of you, and sometimes those aren't pleasant. What this card is saying is, because of all of that, it's time to slow down and pause. It's time to really look at those fears that we have to face, and it's a time to recheck back in. Because when you bring yourself into the now moment using the sensual aspects of who you are, the physical parts of you, you start to really have to face the everyday things that a lot of us water signs want to run away from. And it's part of the nature of who we are, so it's not good, bad, or indifference, just there. And this card is saying your challenge for this 4th week is, as you're working at seeing your potential, as you're tapping into that sensuality, it could bring up some things you don't like. It could bring up some things that need to be faced, challenges, spiritual or mental or sometimes emotional. And what that card is saying is, it's okay to have those experiences. It's okay to heal from that. That's what the 4th week is for of the month of June, is you have a silver dragon coming in. Let's look at your potential. Let's look at the good that you are. You have sensuality, all about bringing yourself into that now moment, really tapping into the now. And the challenge is, don't try to run away from it when you do start to really get into that manifestation point where you're really focusing on that now energy. Don't run away from it. So the 5th week, which this will be a bleed over week into July, is the golden Christed dragon, bringing your higher love so that you can embody that Christ light. Absorbing Christ light, you are protected. Expand your heart and remain in the 5th dimension. Get that to show up there. So the term Christ is actually a title. It's not a person specifically. And the title was an enlightened being. In the East, they would call it an avatar. And so when you're talking about the golden Christed dragon, this is a dragon who's achieved a very high frequency. This is a dragon who has achieved, even amongst dragon kinds, enlightenment. And when a being becomes enlightened, an avatar or a Christ consciousness, they will radiate that out. They want to bring everyone to this point because it is such a powerful experience. Well, we're shifting from a 3rd dimensional energy into a 5th dimensional energy, which is a higher spiritual frequency, and it will affect the physical, but it's not a physical shift as of yet. And what this dragon is saying is, we can work with your entire chakra system. You have 12 chakras that are trying to come online. There's 7 basic in your body, then there's 5 out of body, and a lot of them are trying to shift and come online right now, and those are your 5th dimensional chakras. That's the activation that brings you into these higher states of consciousness. So your 5th week of June is very much about expanding, growing. If you haven't really been putting a lot of effort into your spirituality, this 5th week is all about reconnecting, tapping back in at a deeper level, and use that golden Christed dragon. Ask him to help you, or her, because the dragons can, in their classes, are either or. And ask that dragon to really help you learn the next steps. What do you need? Is it a teacher? Is it a class? Is it a course? Is it a new book? Things like that. Or is it just a new meditation practice? But ask that dragon to help you find what you need to continue your spiritual journey and spiritual growth. And that leads us to our message from Source, which is the Dolphin card. Don't worry, be happy. So the dolphins are all about play. They're all about joy. They're all about living in the moment. A big message that's coming through with this reading for this month, water signs, is living in the now, getting reconnected, facing the fear that keeps us out, makes us spiritually want to run away. And it's facing that, coming back, starting things new, really tapping in to the power that water is in a great deal of the world, because water, it never really dams unless it wants to. It always finds a way. And that's what the dolphins do. They play. If there's something in the way, they go around it. It's not a big deal. And so what this is trying to say is you're tapping into the Christ light energy, the Christ consciousness with the golden Christed dragon, and it's telling you, don't focus on the struggle. Go around it. We are water. We are allowed to move. We flow. We just kind of do our own thing. And you have the dolphins coming in saying, do it, but do it with fun. Like, jump over it. Splash some water at it. Keep going. Just keep happy is what the goal is in this 5th week. The message from Source is all about happiness, peace, and finding ways to look at things and do things a little bit differently, but enjoy that process. Enjoy that creative momentum that you're building. So the lesson or challenge of the tarot is the One of Pentacles. So this is bringing us back, there we go, to a beginning. The ones of all of the lesser arcana are all about, minor arcana, sorry, are all about starting. So in this one, you're starting something new. You're starting to work through some things, either household or financial. And with last week's energy, the 4th week's energy was reminding us to slow down and not just keep running away, and that was a challenge. With this one, it is possibly something new is coming in, and if we push it away, it could actually delay something massive. So during this time, it's all about, what can I start? How can I start? What are these new opportunities coming to me? But to do that, you have to be in the now moment, and it helps to be more happy and positive and really working on that spiritual side, because we are spiritual beings, whether social media or the news or whatever want to say otherwise. We actually are a spiritual entity. We are a spiritual being. And so for us, we have to stay looking at things in a way that allows us to see these new opportunities, because a lot of these new opportunities will be missed if we're totally focused on the more mundane things. And some of those mundane things are escape mechanisms for us water signs. And with this, it's saying ground yourself and look for the new. So this One of Pentacles is all about grounding yourself into the now and observing these new opportunities, and then taking those next steps to really manifest the really powerful life that we're all meant to live. And each one of us is going to live our powerful life in a different way. So don't judge yourself. Comparing it to someone else is what a big message that comes through with this. I hope that resonates for you guys, and if you liked the video, go ahead and drop a comment, let me know what you think, good, bad, or indifferent. I read all of them. The only thing I ask is let's be respectful. On that note, I will let you guys go, and I will talk to you in the next video.